We've all heard about Dr. Phil sending troubled teens to the ranch, but Bhad Bhabie has come forward with shocking information about what really goes on. Does Dr. Phil have something to hide?
Like, these people are evil.
Well, she went to Turnabout 4 or 5 years ago, and if she had a bad experience, obviously I would hate that.
Bhad Bhabie says Dr. Phil isn't ready to take accountability, but other survivors have come forward to tell their stories.
Because I was scared that a staff member might read it.
We have a full kettle, and it's about to spill. Before I get into the story, I just want to put out a disclaimer. Please do not send any hate to Bhad Bhabie, Dr. Phil, or anyone else involved in this story. This video is simply meant to report on the news and give some insight on the situation. You may remember the viral sensation Danielle Bregoli, also known as the Cash Me Outside girl. She now goes by the stage name Bhad Bhabie. For context, in September 2016, Bhad Bhabie appeared on Dr. Phil with her mother for an episode about troubled teens, and Dr. Phil chose to send Bhad Bhabie to Turnabout Ranch, a residential program for struggling teenagers. It turns out Dr. Phil might have made one of the worst decisions in his career. On February 27, 2021, Bhad Bhabie went on Instagram Live to talk about her horrifying experience at Turnabout Ranch. She described the environment at the ranch.
It's just a bunch of old people who get to basically boss kids that have been abused or have problems at home or just had a troubled life, and they act out because of it.
She said parents don't realize what is really happening in these facilities.
They don't know they're sending their kid here for this, but when you send your kid to this facility, your child just gets more traumatized.
She described some of the punishments she faced while at the ranch.
We're talking and singing songs together. We were forced to sit outside in the cold. They would feed us foods they knew we specifically didn't like. They would make us pick up horse. They would make us walk an arena. They actually made me walk the arena, me and the other girls, for 5 days straight.
Bhad Bhabie explained some of the conditions she had to live in.
You're supposed to let the kids change their clothes every day, and then they're supposed to shower every 3 days. They did not let us shower. They did not let us change our clothes. I don't even think they let us shower over the whole 2 weeks.
She claimed she had a number of health problems, including a UTI, due to staff members not following hygiene rules. Bhad Bhabie said she was accused of faking her health problems in order to escape the facility, but explained why it would be difficult to get away.
I told the nurse, she said, "You're just looking for an excuse to go to the hospital so you can run away." Now, meanwhile, this whole facility is in the middle of Escalate, Utah. And even the hospital, it's a small town. There's only about 500 people that live there. This place is literally 2 hours from any main city. If you try to run anywhere, you're either gonna get eaten by coyotes or you're just gonna die from the freezing weather.
She said the average stay was around 3 months, but the facility wanted her to stay another 3 months because of her internet fame. She also called out staff members.
Like, these people are evil. When I tell you, I can't even explain how. I get it, like taking the privileges away and stuff, but to a certain degree. You don't have to not let kids eat.
Bhad Bhabie said she wrote her mother letters about the issues at the facility, but her mother never received any of the letters. She urged parents not to send their children to the ranch and offered a safer, more productive solution.
If your child is just not listening to you, don't send them away. That's not what you do. You need to go to family therapy with your child or try to talk to your child. Your first step is to just send them away.
On February 28th, Bhad Bhabie shared articles about crimes committed at the ranch. This makes my blood boil. Parents, please do your research before sending your child to these types of treatment facilities. They end up adding more trauma to your child's life than what they came there with. These places are supposed to help, but I can promise you they only hurt more. What bothers me even more is Dr. Phil continues to send children there after knowing what goes on at this place. She posted a screenshot of Turnabout Ranch's Instagram page, calling them out. This is their Instagram page. On this page, they liked a comment about me by a kid that went there that said, "Based on my experience here, Danielle's story is fabricated. These people are sick and can't even own up to their wrongs." She also shared a DM sent to Turnabout Ranch confronting them about liking a comment that claimed her story is fake. Then, she showed the comment the ranch account liked. She continued to call out the ranch. Turnabout turned their comments off. I remember y'all #1 thing is teaching children to take accountability for their wrongs, but y'all obviously don't practice what you preach. Bhad Bhabie also shared an Instagram post from Breaking Code Silence that talked about Dr. Phil profiting off of sending children to different rehabilitation ranches. On March 19th, Bhad Bhabie uploaded a video called Bhad Bhabie, Breaking Code Silence, Turnabout Ranch Abuse Dr. Phil, Danielle Bregoli. In the video, she said she was only 13 years old when she was taken to Turnabout Ranch. Bhad Bhabie mentioned a girl named Hannah Archuleta who attended the ranch and had been hurt by the staff. Hannah's story will be explained later in this video. Bhad Bhabie had a direct message for Dr. Phil.
So, Dr. Phil, I am going to give you from now till April 5th to issue an apology, not only to me, but to Hannah and any other child that you sent to Turnabout or any other program like this, and if you don't, I'm gonna handle things my way.
In her video, she used the hashtag Breaking Code Silence. For context, Breaking Code Silence is a movement created by Paris Hilton for survivors of behavioral schools. To learn more about the movement, you can watch our previous video, which we'll link in the description box. Similar to Paris's story, Bhad Bhabie said she was taken to the ranch by transporters who did not tell her where she was going. She described them as kidnappers. She said she was scared to speak out because she had no evidence and it would be the staff's word against hers. The video took a somber turn when Bhad Bhabie brought up the passing of one of the counselors.
One morning I was cleaning up for breakfast and one of the staff members was sitting right next to me and she had her walkie on her, so I heard everything. One of the kids, he had tried to steal a car or something. Everyone was screaming on the walkies like it was really crazy, and he ended up killing one of the staff members. They made all the kids that were at Roundy come down, and then they told us not to tell us anything. A day later, they have us all, every kid that's at Turnabout, they have us all sit in a circle and they're like, listen, there was an incident, I know some of y'all heard it over the walkies, Jimmy. And so we're all freaking out, because Jimmy was, like I said, he was one of them that was there the first day I got there. He was really sweet. Not only did Jimmy die, but one of the other staff members that was there at the time, Alicia, who was the daughter of the nurse. Alicia, she was also injured, and 2 years later she was also left disabled after being attacked by Clay.
She believed there was a conflict of interest in the situation because the mother of the criminal was married to the brother of the owner of the facility. She said the staff did not discuss the crime with the kids, even though some of the kids were greatly affected by it. Bhad Bhabie said her mother always threatened to send her away, but this was the first time she did. She repeated it's important to not send misbehaving children to facilities like Turnabout Ranch, and instead to get them into therapy or find a program that suits their needs. Bhad Bhabie called out Dr. Phil again.
Not really sure why Dr. Phil still sends kids here. It really doesn't make sense. Like, are you trying to help them or are you trying to hurt them even more? Because, I mean, we all know he's a phony as it is, but like, don't be sending kids somewhere just to make it look like you're trying to do something.
On March 22nd, News Nation anchor Ashley Banfield interviewed Dr. Phil. Ashley asked him about Bhad Bhabie's accusations, and Dr. Phil replied,
Well, you know, she went to Turnabout 4 or 5 years ago, and if she had a bad experience, you know, obviously I would hate that. We'd be sorry about that, but we don't have anything to do with what happens with guests once they leave the stage. I mean, that's between the guardian and the parent and whatever facility they go to. So we're not involved in that. We don't have any feedback from them. So whatever happens once they're there, that's between them and the facility. I assume she had a problem. She filed a complaint with the proper authorities or something 5 years ago.
Bhad Bhabie responded, I will be addressing this. She retweeted it again and tagged Paris Hilton and Breaking Code Silence. On March 26th, Bhad Bhabie was interviewed briefly by The Hollywood Fix for her 18th birthday. In the interview, she was asked about the accusations against Dr. Phil. He just don't want to take accountability for it, because there's some type of scheme going on where every time he sends a child there, something goes in his favor. I don't know if he gets money, if he gets the publicity, I don't know what it is. On April 7th, Bhad Bhabie uploaded a new YouTube video called Bhad Bhabie Reacts to Dr. Phil Interview about her Breaking Code Silence vid, Danielle Bregoli. Her video began with a disclaimer. All statements in this video are my opinion only and are based on my personal experience. They are not to be taken as statements of fact. Do your own research. Bhad Bhabie's video was in response to the interview done by Ashley Banfield. She criticized Ashley for choosing to show a clip of Bhad Bhabie from her Dr. Phil appearance.
This be the only clip you show of me. Why don't you show me being nominated for a Billboard award? Why don't you show me having multiple gold and platinum plaques? Why don't you show me being youngest female rapper to hit Billboard? Why don't you show stuff like that?
Bhad Bhabie defended her behavior on the show by saying she was told by the show's staff to be dramatic and said audience members were talking badly about her when she was on stage. She continued to criticize Ashley, who said the ranch was giving kids tough love.
Malnourishing, humiliating, screaming at, sleep depriving. That's not f***ing tough love.
Bhad Bhabie called Dr. Phil out for claiming that once the kids were sent to the ranch, it was out of his hands.
My mother signed a consent of release of information to send progress reports directly from Turnabout to the Dr. Phil show. You're just trying to save your. That's all you're trying to do is save your. But there's too many stories and there's too many people behind this that you can't save your anymore.
In the video, Bhad Bhabie showed a clip of Dr. Phil pretending he didn't remember much about her story, then called him out for it.
You don't remember nothing about the story? All my clips total on your YouTube channel got 160 million views. And that doesn't even include how much you made on the show itself or the reruns. So between syndication YouTube views and the show views, he's making hundreds of millions of dollars.
As the video ended, Bhad Bhabie had a message for Dr. Phil.
I'm not done with you, Philip. That was not a apology. You think it's funny and you think it's what you do for a living to make people go against each other and make people look dumb on the internet. Oh, I've got something coming for you. Not so funny when the tables are turned, is it?
In her video, Bhad Bhabie spoke about crimes that were allegedly committed during her stay at the ranch. The biggest crime was the passing of 61-year-old Jimmy Woolsey, a counselor at Turnabout Ranch. Clay Brewer, a patient who was 17 at the time, allegedly committed the crime. Brewer, who was at the ranch to recover from a pill addiction, had only been there 4 days before attempting. On the day of the crime, Brewer said he grabbed the fire iron and waited by his group's circle for someone to arrive. When Woolsey arrived, Brewer allegedly used the fire iron to commit the crime. Brewer said he tried to hide the evidence and his own soiled clothing. Some teens saw the crime and informed the other staff members. Staff member Alicia Keller was the first to arrive at the scene, but Brewer injured Keller using the fire iron. He demanded she give him the keys and threatened to injure other people if she didn't comply. Keller handed the keys to Brewer and he escaped with Keller's car. The police went after him on a high-speed chase and eventually stopped him. Before they could arrest Brewer, he pretended to have a so the police could potentially take his life. However, they were able to arrest him without injury. In 2018, Brewer was sentenced to serve 5 years to life in prison. This isn't the first time people have spoken up about their experience at Turnabout Ranch. Hannah Archuleta was 17 when she was sent to the ranch by Dr. Phil. She claimed she was SA'd by male staff multiple times. In February 2021, Hannah released a statement claiming she would be filing a lawsuit. "I am filing this lawsuit today because I want justice, and I do not want what happened to me to happen to anyone else." In her lawsuit, she said she reported the abuse, but no action was taken. She said she was forced into silence because of the staff's physical and emotional abuse. Hannah described the abuse she faced after revealing her SA. "I was required to spend extra time picking up horse manure, walking in circles around a horse corral, and sitting at a desk facing a wall for hours. I also had to do forced labor outside in below freezing temperatures and sleep on a wooden plank with no pillow. In addition, the retaliation included refusing me access to the bathroom." Hannah said at the time she went to the ranch, she was struggling with trauma. "I had recently learned that my mother was terminally ill with liver failure, and I was very vulnerable and heartbroken." She has since hired lawyer Gloria Allred to help with the case. Turnabout Ranch strongly denied the allegations in a statement to Fox 13 Now. For more details on their statement, check the link in the description box below. Another victim of Turnabout Ranch is Abbie Parker. In April 2020, Abbie uploaded a YouTube video titled "Meeting Bhad Bhabie While at Turnabout Ranch, Storytime Saturday." She said she stayed there from May to September 2016. Her experience was different from Bhad Bhabie's, as she claimed the staff were helpful and more compassionate. She said kids weren't allowed to talk in public and especially weren't allowed to talk to kids of the opposite sex. Abbie also spoke about a lack of privacy at the facility.
We did get to keep a diary, but the staff members had to look through it to make sure there was no cuss words. So I wasn't really very honest in those about how I was feeling, just because I was scared that a staff member might read it.
She said she had code words for different things so she could speak more freely in her diary. Abbie said she met Bhad Bhabie during her stay. She said Bhad Bhabie was a bit of a rebel when she arrived.
I remember she was just like, "I don't know the point of rules. I think rules are stupid. I don't think anyone should have to follow rules." And I remember being like, because that was pretty bold for her to say. None of us knew that she was on Dr. Phil. And that Dr. Phil episode actually didn't even air until after I got home, like in September.
She said a woman had come around claiming to have worked for Dr. Phil, but Abbie said the woman had no relation to Bhad Bhabie. Abbie said she never had negative feelings towards Bhad Bhabie and described her as a shy person during her stay. Abbie graduated shortly after and said the next time she saw Bhad Bhabie was on Dr. Phil. On March 1st, 2021, Abbie uploaded a new video called "My Experience at Turnabout Ranch," addressing Bhad Bhabie's live. She admitted there were differences between her video and Bhad Bhabie's live stream. She seemed to have a more positive experience, while Bhad Bhabie's was negative. However, she said Bhad Bhabie didn't lie in her video. She explained they had different experiences because they were two different people with different personalities.
The reasons we were there were very different. How we got there was very different, and how we acted while we were there, how we were treated in our experiences there are very different. So obviously we're going to explain it different.
However, Abbie said her own video was different because she hid many details out of embarrassment. Abbie spoke about her life before she attended Turnabout Ranch. She said she attended a private school and was SA'd by a boy there. Abbie said the psychological effects of being SA'd caused tension between her and her family. Abbie said after an argument with her mother, she was sent to juvenile detention. She said her probation officer told her she could spend 3 months at Turnabout Ranch or she could spend time in jail, so Abbie and her parents chose the ranch. Abbie explained why she didn't reveal the reason she went to the ranch in her first video.
I'm going to be talking about why I went to the ranch, because I didn't address that in the first video, because I didn't feel it necessary, and I felt like if I talked about it, I would be embarrassed, and like at that time I just didn't want to talk about it.
She said she didn't know much about Bhad Bhabie's story because she was at a higher level in the program when Bhad Bhabie had arrived. She said they had spoken a few times but mostly spoke about rules. Abbie said Bhad Bhabie wasn't interested in following the rules. Abbie said she was too critical of Bhad Bhabie in her previous video and said many kids who go to the ranch are there because of trauma. Abbie confirmed the crime Bhad Bhabie spoke about was true. Abbie mentioned incidents where kids would get their stays extended because they would try to escape. Abbie also said she believed Bhad Bhabie's experience about not being able to shower and having to walk the horse corral. However, Abbie said this was something she hadn't experienced. Abbie said she wasn't surprised to hear Bhad Bhabie wasn't taken to the hospital for her UTI, as the staff was paranoid about kids running away. People supported Abbie. Utah's laws regarding minors are disturbing. As more and more stories about these reform programs are coming out, you realize how messed up they are, and the fact they're all in Utah. You are so strong for sharing your story. I'm glad to see that after Danielle went live and exposed the true horrors about this, that more people are speaking out. This place straight up sounds like a prison. The way they're treating traumatized kids like they're some kind of danger to society is appalling. Thank you for speaking up about this. Sierra Myers was another troubled teen who was on Dr. Phil's show. She suffered from trauma due to SAs and allegedly seeing someone lose their life in front of her. In the episode, Dr. Phil told Sierra's mother she had failed her by a country mile. Dr. Phil offered to send Sierra to a treatment facility to get the help she needed. However, Sierra wasn't sent to Turnabout like Bhad Bhabie was. She was sent to Island View, another behavioral facility in Utah, which is owned by the same parent company as Turnabout, Aspen Education Group. group. At Island View, she was asked to stay behind by her math teacher. After she refused, he followed her to her room and tried to have her put into isolation for disobedience. When she refused, the teacher and 3 other staff members tried to force Sierra into isolation by pulling on her arms. They only backed off when they heard a popping sound. Sierra was left with a badly broken arm and severe nerve damage. Her family is now suing the Dr. Phil show. Turnabout Ranch is also a big topic of conversation on the subreddit r/troubledteens. One person said they felt the only way to get through the program was to fake it to make it. They said their time at the ranch had left them with anxiety so bad they have to medicate themselves in order to function. Another person said they were present for the crime that ended Jimmy Woolsey's life. They said the staff had ordered them to keep quiet about it. They claimed multiple staff members have passed since working there. They also mentioned medical neglect similar to Bhad Bhabie's experience. In another Reddit post, someone shared a blog post titled "The Dark Side of Dr. Phil." Some people criticize Dr. Phil. If that man has a soul, if hell is real, he's got a one-way ticket there for what he did to legitimize it, and for every one of us he got sent there. One of the former staff members of Turnabout Ranch started his own program in Tennessee called AVR. I was sent to this program and experienced multiple forms of abuse. Anyone connected to Turnabout Ranch is absolutely evil and will rot in a special place in hell. So, what's the big issue? Is it right to send your troubled child away? For Bhad Bhabie, she didn't seem to have any underlying health issues, but rather, she was just being a rebellious teenager. And this isn't something unusual. It's normal for teenagers to be rebellious. University of Southern California psychology researchers have discovered through brain scans that teenage rebellion is a sign of teens separating from parents in their transition to adulthood. So, rather than punishing your child during their life-changing and confusing teenage years, there are more healthy things you can do as a parent. Amy Bodrow, a clinical psychologist and professor in child studies, recommends spending time together. Offer to drive. You'll learn a lot about your teenager and their friends if you drive the kids home from a concert or a dance. Watch TV or a video together. I think a lot of parents don't feel comfortable bringing up some issues, says Bodrow. TV or a movie can provide great jumping off material, a good opening for parents to open up a subject they need to discuss. And the final piece of advice Amy has is communicating with your child. The bottom line is communication, and not just at times of disapproval, discipline, says Bodrow. Make sure you communicate with your child when you're proud, when he did a good job. It's important to balance that out. Otherwise, it becomes, why are you always nagging me, always on my back? So, what if your child isn't rebellious, but they actually have a mental illness? Instead of sending your child away, Mayo Clinic recommends taking them to their doctor first. From there, your child's doctor may recommend that your child be evaluated by a specialist. Mayo Clinic also explains mental illness in children is commonly treated with psychotherapy and/or medication. If your doctor or therapist recommends your child go to a psychiatric treatment school, please remember to do your own research. In the digital age where information is readily available, it's a good idea to check the reviews and approach things with caution. For example, even years before Bhad Bhabie's YouTube video, people on Reddit already shared their horrible experiences at Turnabout Ranch. Furthermore, if you or someone you know has been affected by these types of ranches and emotional growth schools, please check out breakingcodesilence.net for more information on getting the help you need. Overall, it's important to understand all the options when it comes to your child's mental health. One stay at a corrupt behavioral school can cause a lifetime of trauma for your child. It's good that Bhad Bhabie and other survivors have come forward to raise awareness about Turnabout Ranch. Hopefully, their stories will bring positive changes to the ranch and facilities like it. It seems the story is still unfolding, and many are still waiting to see if Dr. Phil will respond to Bhad Bhabie's newest video. What do you think about this story? Let me know in the comments below. If you like this video, hit the like button. To keep up on all the tea, consider subscribing to the channel.